Many believe the Great Wall of China is visible from space, but this is a myth. Astronauts confirm the wall is too thin and blends into the landscape. Its greatness isn't about being seen from the stars, but about its story on the ground. The wall's true significance lies in the history of China and the vision of Qin Shi Huang. He dreamed of a border that would last forever, a barrier no one could cross. The wall was a project of immense ambition, requiring vast resources and human effort. While it can't be seen from space, its impact is felt throughout history. The wall remains a wonder, not for its visibility, but for its story. The wall's story is China's story, a tale of power, unity, and the cost of greatness. Before Qin Shi Huang, China was a patchwork of warring states, each with its own ruler and laws. Constant conflict made life uncertain and dangerous. Into this chaos was born Yingzheng, king of the Qin state. From a young age, he was ambitious. He wanted to end the wars and unite all of China. Through brilliant strategy and ruthless campaigns, he conquered his rivals. By 221 BC, he had unified the land and declared himself Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor. To protect his new empire, he began building the Great Wall, a barrier against northern threats and a symbol of unity. The wall was the physical embodiment of his vision, a unified, enduring China. The story of the Great Wall begins with the dream of one man. Conquest was only the beginning for Qin Shi Huang. To truly unite China, he needed to standardize its systems and cultures. Before him, each state had its own currency, weights, measures, and even cart axle widths. Trade and travel were difficult, and the empire was not truly connected. The emperor introduced a single currency and standardized weights and measures. Roads and carts were unified, making movement and commerce easier across the empire. Most importantly, he standardized the written language, creating a common script for government and communication. This new script became the foundation of modern Chinese writing. These reforms broke down old barriers and helped forge a single national identity. The changes were enforced strictly. Dissent was not tolerated. The emperor ordered the burning of books that contradicted his vision, erasing much of the old state's histories. While harsh, these measures were effective in unifying the country. The standardizations connected people from distant regions and created a shared culture. Qin Shi Huang's reforms laid the groundwork for a unified China that would last for centuries. His rule was strict, but his vision for unity was realized. The emperor's legacy is seen in the systems that still shape China today. The Great Wall was only one part of his plan. The unification of people and ideas was just as important. Qin Shi Huang's efforts transformed a fractured land into a single nation. His legacy is a China united not just by force, but by shared systems and culture. The first emperor's vision was as much about unity as it was about power. With China united, Qin Shi Huang turned to the northern frontier. The Xiongnu, fierce nomadic horsemen, posed a constant threat. Their mobility allowed them to raid and vanish before Chinese armies could respond. Previous northern states had built separate, unconnected walls for defense. These offered little protection. Raiders could simply go around them. The emperor realized a new approach was needed. He envisioned a single, continuous wall stretching across the northern border. This wall would separate the settled Chinese world from the nomadic steppes. It would be a barrier the Xiongnu could not easily cross. The Great Wall project was born out of necessity, a response to a threat that had plagued China for centuries. The wall was more than a defense. It was a statement of the new empire's strength. It marked the boundary between civilization and chaos. The emperor's solution was ambitious: connect, strengthen, and expand the old walls into one massive barrier. The Great Wall became the line that defined the edge of the Chinese world. It was a defensive strategy on a scale never seen before. The wall's construction would change China forever. The emperor ordered General Meng Tian to build the Great Wall. Meng Tian drove the Xiongnu north, securing the land for construction. The massive project began with soldiers, peasants, and convicts forced to work. Workers faced mountains, deserts, and rivers, using only simple tools. Many died from exhaustion, accidents, and disease. The wall became known as the longest cemetery on Earth. Despite the suffering, the wall rose, stretching across the frontier. The Great Wall stands as a monument to sacrifice and ambition. The Great Wall symbolized the emperor's power, but its cost was immense. Taxes soared, and resources were drained to fund the wall, roads, and the emperor's tomb. Farmers gave up much of their harvest, leaving families hungry. Millions were forced into labor, families were torn apart, and many never returned. The death toll was staggering. Hundreds of thousands perished. The wall, meant to protect, was built on suffering. Despite the cost, the wall slowed invasions and allowed troops to move quickly along the border. Watchtowers and signal fires enabled rapid communication in times of attack. The wall was not impenetrable. Raiders still found ways through, and its strength depended on its defenders. Its greatest value was symbolic, a boundary between China and the outside world. The wall was a testament to the emperor's determination, but also his ruthlessness. It protected the empire, but at a terrible price. The Great Wall became both a source of pride and a reminder of suffering. It stands as a monument to ambition, sacrifice, and the limits of power. The wall's legacy is as complex as the emperor who built it. The price of protection was paid in human lives. While the Great Wall rose in the north, Qin Shi Huang pursued immortality. Obsessed with living forever, he sent expeditions for the elixir of life and took potions, many containing deadly mercury. As his fear of death grew, he planned for his afterlife. He ordered the construction of a vast underground tomb near Xi'an, a secret palace meant to mirror his empire. Rivers of mercury, star-studded ceilings, and hidden traps were designed to protect his eternal rest. Over 700,000 workers labored in secrecy on the tomb. The most famous feature is the terracotta army, thousands of life-sized clay soldiers, horses, and chariots. Each figure is unique, crafted to guard the emperor in the afterlife. The army stands in battle formation, ready to protect their ruler for eternity. The tomb's location and contents were kept secret, surrounded by legend and fear. The emperor's obsession with immortality drained resources and cost countless lives. His tomb was a world built for one man's afterlife, a monument to his power and fear. The terracotta army remains one of history's greatest archaeological discoveries. The emperor's quest for immortality left a legacy as enduring as the Great Wall. His tomb and army are silent witnesses to his ambition. The emperor's obsession shaped his reign and his legacy. The story of the terracotta army is a testament to the lengths he would go to defy death. Qin Shi Huang's search for immortality became his final monument. Qin Shi Huang died in 210 BC while touring his empire. His death was kept secret to prevent chaos, and a plot placed a weaker son on the throne. The Qin Dynasty, meant to last forever, collapsed within 15 years. The people, exhausted by harsh rule and heavy taxes, rebelled. Yet, the idea of a unified China survived. The Han Dynasty adopted many of Qin Shi Huang's reforms, standardized writing, currency, and government. The Great Wall was maintained and expanded. The first emperor laid the foundation for a unified state that endures today. He remains a controversial figure, a unifier, and a tyrant. His tomb stayed hidden for centuries until the terracotta army was discovered in 1974. The find stunned the world, thousands of unique clay soldiers guarding the emperor's secret. The main tomb remains unopened, its mysteries intact. The terracotta army and the Great Wall are his most visible legacies. They are monuments of earth and clay, telling the story of China's first emperor. Qin Shi Huang's legacy is written in stone, earth, and legend. Qin Shi Huang's legacy is complex. He united China, ended centuries of war, and created systems that held the country together. The Great Wall became a symbol of strength and separation. But his methods were brutal. He ruled through fear and forced millions into labor. His obsession with power and immortality drained the empire's wealth. The dynasty collapsed quickly after his death as the people turned against his harsh rule. The Great Wall is both a masterpiece of engineering and a monument to suffering. Every mile represents sacrifice and ambition. The wall protected the empire, but at the cost of the people's happiness. It is a source of pride and a somber reminder of a dark past. Qin Shi Huang's story teaches us about the nature of power and the dangers of unchecked ambition. He built a wall to keep invaders out but failed to win his people's loyalty. His empire was strong in stone but fragile in spirit. The story of the first emperor is one of creation and destruction, unity and tyranny. His legacy continues to fascinate, a tale of vision, sacrifice, and the enduring power of a single leader. The Great Wall stands as both a boundary and a bridge to China's past. For more stories about history's most fascinating leaders, subscribe to our channel.